Hello everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Jayrocks video. So I must apologise in advance, I'm just recovering from COVID at the minute, so my voice is a bit all over the place, but absolutely fine. Today's video I am going to be doing some spraying. So I've received this new sprayer today from gardenimports.co.uk. They very kindly sent it through. It's not paid, anything like that. They've just sent it through so I can give some real feedback on the bit of equipment and what it's like, and that's all it's about. So I just want to bring some real feedback to you and just how it actually uses. So this is a battery sprayer, rather than using the pump action like you have in normal knapsacks that you're going to get from your normal stores. This sort of product here ranges from about £200 from the company there, and I'll stick the link below, so check that out. But what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be applying some instant green from Total Lawn. I know that I'm killing the lawn off soon, but I want to make as much time as I've got with it at the moment. It's not going to get killed off for another couple of weeks, so I want to try and get that down now, see some fast acting green up, and let's just enjoy the lawn while I've got it before it goes away. So one thing that I do actually love with this is that you've got this PSI changer down here, so where you can select up from anywhere from 8 PSI all the way up to 60 PSI. So that's really fantastic, that as well, that you can just change it. It also comes with a bag of nozzles here, and these are all the nozzles that you get actually with it. So you get your 0 point here, that'll just go straight out. You got your 25-degree fan, your adjuster, so that'll just rotate around here, and that will adjust to any sort of spraying pattern. And you've got the one here that is sort of like your standard one that would come with any sort of kit, but this one can change out to any other sort of selecting ends that you get just off the shelf. So if you do use your grey fan tip, then you can just get that and replace that on there. But all of these are just used by this sort of pulley system that's on it, and it's all just basically quick change. What's one thing I really like with it. And the lance that actually comes with it here is, you know, it's brilliant. It's just more or less like a jet wash. The whole system is these pulley brass brackets, and the whole system works on this apart from one that's a screw thread. So all you literally do is pull it back and then it just pops out, what makes it really easy to just change over. And it's just nice that if you're on a job and you just need to do a different spray type, then, you know, within seconds you're just changing it over rather than faffing about the whole time. Now if anyone can remember the old one that I have, the straps on it were a nightmare. I used to just tape some foam to it. Whereas on these ones here, really comfortable, and the side housing for stowing the lance is simple as anything. The battery is an 18 volt, what lasts for around about 2.5 hours suggested, but it also sprays up to 260 litres per battery, what for me and the type of things I'm going to be spraying isn't a problem at all. Right then, and that's us. So that's us done. So I am super happy with how that is getting used. Quite honestly, it's just as a comparison, these are the ones that I've went from. So you can see here that I was just using Opla, if that's how you pronounce that one. Just a cheap old one that was maybe 20 quid from Amazon. when I first got that, and that's done me through a couple of seasons, to be fair. It does get clogged up at the top quite a bit, but you know, that's granular iron sulfate for you, that will do that. But using something like this, 15 litres, but it's just so much easier, it takes everything away from it. The only thing I found with it, well, I'm guessing if you've probably used battery ones before, it's probably a no-brainer, but when you get towards that sort of last litre and a bit, it starts to choke up a bit where it's trying to bring that pressure through, whereas obviously with the manual one, you fiddle around with it a bit more, but it really isn't a problem. So I think the only thing I would say if you're planning on using something like this is stick an extra couple of litres in than what you need and just adjust accordingly for the solution that you're putting in. But other than that, it sprays fantastic. It's heavy duty, no other way to talk about it. So I think if you've got a larger area, you know, if you've got a couple 100 metre square that you don't want to be pumping around, then this is something that's completely spot on. And commercially as well, if you're going to be doing this week in, week out, and treatments all the way through the year. If anyone's listened to my last podcast, Jayrocks Lawn Care and Gardening Podcast UK, right, I'll stick a link down below for that as well. Then I am also offering treatments a little bit more frequently this year for my clients, and you know, this is going to come in handy so much more with it. So if you have got that bigger areas, then I would honestly advise you to go for something like this, because it's fantastic. The battery, just to go off, I mean, I have spoke about it slightly, but you are getting about 2.5 hours of run time, and it's getting you through a good amount of distance as well. So the battery, I don't think it's going to be a problem. To get a refreshing battery, so a second battery, they're about £80 online, but I mean, you're talking a lot of gardens. If you're spraying day in, day out, then you might have something bigger or something attached to the ride-on or something like that anyway. If not, then this could be for you. Anyway, so this is how the garden's going to look after about 2 hours, just to give you a little final view of it. The last sort of few days now before we get rid of it, last few weeks, sorry. So we'll see how it goes. But thank you very much for tuning in. Hit like, comment, subscribe, really appreciate it. Any comments at all, if you want to know any further information on it or whatever else, let me know, and I might even do a review about it. That's sort of just dedicated to the sprayer. But yeah, take care, and I'll see you next week. Oh, and any spraying grooves out there, I do realise the red tip I was using at the very end is spraying way too wide. I think it's something like 110 degrees, 120 degrees. It is way too wide. So for things like your fertilisers, and especially sort of iron sulfate, that sort of thing, you want to be using one of them little green tips. They're only about £6. They don't cost much whatsoever, but one of them you need to get on the end. This one, like I say, way too wide for spraying, but it works in that application. But yeah, I have already picked up on that.